Hello and welcome back to Joe's Math Tools. In our session today, we are solving an algebraic equation. So when you're ready, let's get started. So in our question today, we're going to be solving an algebraic equation. And to solve these type of equations, the first thing you need to do is remember your rules for PEMDAS. And remember that PEMDAS tells us that we're always to work our parentheses first. Now in cases like the ones that we have today where we have the unlike terms in our parentheses, we're going to have to begin by applying our distributive property to our question. And our distributive property tells us that whatever term is on the outside of our bracket, so for example, in my first term is 3, so since 3 is outside my bracket, that means that this 3 will be multiplied or distributed to everything inside of my parentheses. So I'm going to start there. So my 3 times c will equal to 3c. My 3 times -2 will equal to -6. I'll return my -4 back to my question, and then again apply my distributive property using 2 on the right hand side of my equation. So my 2 will be multiplied to c, which will equal to 2c, and then that 2 will be multiplied to my -1 or my -1, which would equal to -2, and we put our -2 back to our question. Now, and whenever you're solving the equation and you have a multiple or a group of terms on each side of your equal sign, I always recommend simplifying each side of your equation before you dive into collecting like terms across the equal sign. So we're going to start by simplifying the left hand side, and since -6 and 4 are the constants, we know that when -6 minus 4, we're going to get a -10, because our rules for integers tells us to be able to add the numbers and keep the negative sign. And we're going to return our 3c back. And again, we're going to do the exact same thing on the right hand side. And now we're going to begin collecting like terms across our equal sign. So I'm going to start with my 3c and 2c. And since the 2c is smaller in this case, I'm going to move that 2c to my 3c, which will leave us with -4 on the right hand side of our equation. So 3c minus 2c will equal to c minus 10 equal to -4. And now we're going to collect our constants, and since 10 and 4 are both has minus sign or negative signs in front of them, I'm going to move the 10 since it is larger, and it will become positive on the right hand side. So my c will equal to -4 plus 10, and we know that when 4 is minus from 10, this will equal to 6. Okay, so time to perform our most important step, which is to check our answer. And if c is equal to 6, that means that everywhere in our question where c appears, I am now replacing that c with my 6. So first step is to apply your substitution. So now there's two things or two ways you can decide to work out this question. Now I think I have a video loaded on working out questions like this with the distributive property, where you can work it out by distributing your 3 to everything in your parentheses and then simplifying, or you can just work out your parentheses and then multiply your 3 to the answer afterwards. So we're going to work with our parentheses first, following our rules for PEMDAS. So 6 minus 2 will equal to 4. And that 4 will be multiplied to my 3, which will equal to 12. And when 12 minus 4, it is equal to 8. Okay, so now we're going to do the exact same thing on the right hand side. So 6 minus 1 is equal to 5. 2 times 5 is equal to 10. And when 10 minus 2, it is equal to 8. And since both my left and my right hand side is equal to the same thing, that means that my c equals 6 is the correct answer for my equation. Okay, so I hope this was of help to you. Remember that Applying the distributive property is easy. I also have videos on these type of equations and how to apply a distributive property when constant and both variables are involved. I will post that link in the description box to you below, so if you need to go and watch that video before we begin diving into more of these algebraic equations, especially when we later get into the quadratic equations, then please make sure that you do that, so that when we begin solving these equations, you will be up to speed and able to follow us easily. And until next time, this is Joe's Math Tools, where math is made easy.